welcome to my channel. In this video, we're going to talk about, and I say we, the royal we, but it's really me. I'm going to share with you some kind of weird habits. They're just kind of weird. They're kind of weird, and I do get a little bit some looks from people whenever I've said them aloud. But they have changed my life, and so they might change yours, at least one of them, if you want to give them a try. If you've never watched any of my videos, and this is your first one, maybe you want to start here. I have one, it's got less weird habits, but also very life-changing, and then maybe move on over to this one. We're gonna get started with the first weird habit. We're gonna end with the weirdest of the habits, the weirdest one. It's weird, but if you try it, I swear it's gonna change your life, but it's weird. This video is also sponsored by AG1. I'm very excited to share with you my experience with them, and let's get started. So let's get started with the first weird habit that is fashion related, since this is a fashion channel, although these are not all fashion related. But one thing I started doing over the summer, which really helped me decide what I was gonna wear or what I wanted to wear, when I wanted to look and feel like that day, is, how do I put this? I started envisioning a person who I really liked their style, even if it was just my own perception of who they were or what their style was. And I thought to myself, what would she wear today to go to this thing? Remember the episode where Carrie goes to a cocktail party at this woman's house and everything she owns is beige. She only serves light colored drinks because she doesn't want any kind of wine, red wine or anything to spill on her beige furniture. So I actually haven't seen that episode in a very long time, like in years. But I took that perception of her and I just felt like she was probably very organized, very particular about things, very, particular about her outfit, which, I mean, I can be very unorganized. I can be kind of a frazzled mess a lot of the time. And so I would think, well, what would she wear to this? So a lot of times I ended up wearing like a beige outfit or something that was very like Upper East Side mom. But it just made it kind of fun to get dressed, and it made it kind of a fun little game I got to play with myself and with my clothes, and I often loved the outfits that I put together. This is one to not overthink. You could literally see a stranger on the street and be like, I love her look, I love her style. She seems to me like a person who's confident in her body, probably has like a amazing job, and she flies to St. Bart's on the weekends. You know nothing about this person, but you could create this idea of her, and then you can think the next day, okay, what would she wear today to go to this meeting that I have? And it is very fun, but I also feel like it helps you embody a person that maybe you kind of aspire to be. So this next one is a habit that, if you know me personally, you'll know that it's weird that I stopped it, because it's like part of my ethos, my being, and that is I gave up coffee for 10 days. And if 10 days doesn't seem that long to you, it's not, but it was enough for me. But I needed to give it up because it just seemed like I was relying on it way too much and I was addicted. I do feel like I have to do this every year or so, where I have to just cut myself off from caffeine to kind of do a little bit of a reset. And if you've ever stopped caffeine cold turkey, you know that that does come with, you're just sleepy, you're like tired for like a week. So I've been drinking AG1. AG1 is our sponsor for today, and I will explain in a moment how they help mitigate my caffeine withdrawal. But AG1 is a foundational nutrition drink that basically fills in the nutritional gaps of your diet. Plus, Daddy Dr. Huberman has been drinking AG1 for like 10 years or something, and it's really hard to argue with a buff neuroscientist. I've been drinking AG1 for maybe a month and a half now, every single day, and I can honestly say that I feel more focused and have more sustained energy throughout the day. Plus, I can definitely tell a difference in my digestion. AG1 actually has 75 vitamins and minerals. It has the best and highest quality ingredients that you can find. The other cool thing about AG1 is, instead of adding it to all the supplements you already take, you can probably eliminate all those individual supplements you're buying every month and just drink AG1. So you're probably like, well, what does this taste like? Okay, so it has an underlying hint of like a fruit-ish. I would say it's like fruit mixed with herbs or something. They do have a really great offer where you can get a free year supply of vitamin D and K3 and 5 travel packets, which are super convenient. And honestly, probably when you most need to drink this is when you're on vacation and you're not really like eating and drinking the healthiest stuff. At least that's what we did. I will leave a link on how to order your first month and get these freebies in the description box below, and let's continue. Stopping coffee, I felt kind of tired and like, for about 2 days, and then I was like, oh, I feel fine now, which is amazing because that has not happened in the past. Now, if you're wanting to know what I'm doing with coffee now, did I bring it back into my life? Well, yes, I did, but I'm doing it very intentionally. So now, instead of waking up and immediately downing caffeine to wake myself up. I don't really start coffee until I want that extra boost of caffeine to somehow get into a flow state. Now I wanna say this is something that Andrew Huberman had mentioned as well. Like, it's better not to just throw down coffee as soon as you wake up in the morning. My insides have been so much happier since I stopped just chugging coffee in the morning, and I do AG1 instead as my first drink of the day. So this has really worked for me very nicely. I will never give up coffee completely. I very much love coffee. I love the taste, I love the ritual, but I really love my relationship with it right now. Another weird habit you might want to consider doing is I started complimenting random strangers, and not inauthentic or anything like that, but you know how you'll see a woman or somebody out and about and you're like, oh, I love her outfit, or I just love her style, or like her hair looks so good, but you never say it because it just seems weird to walk up to the person and say, hi, I love your hair. But I have started doing that. And I'll be honest, it is hard to come across as genuine at first. I feel like the way I sounded was like, hi, I love your skirt.
God, I love your skirt. Where did you get it? That is the ugliest effing skirt I've ever seen.
It took a few times before I was able to really say, hey, I just wanna let you know I love your outfit. You look so good. So what it did to me and what it might do to you is sometimes when you take the attention off of yourself, whether you're having a bad day or something, your life is not going that great at some point, and you go and you have a genuine appreciation for somebody else, or you really genuinely like it needs to be genuine. You need to actually really like something about the person that you want to compliment, because you don't want to just make up something. But it can really make you feel good too. Like you just paid somebody a very worthwhile compliment and you really meant it, and that probably made them feel really good, and then you leave kind of feeling good, like, oh good, I'm so glad that I told her that. I'm so glad I complimented her. So the weird habit is to start complimenting random women strangers. If you do this to men, I don't know what's gonna happen if you're like, hey, I like your pants. So do that at your own risk. But complimenting random women, they often will look at you kind of like, what? Like, what's going on? But I guarantee you, like, who doesn't like to hear a genuine compliment about themselves? Another habit, I don't think this is really a habit because I'm not doing this every day, but I do, again, like trying to figure out what I want to wear to a certain occasion or for a certain event. To kind of narrow down my choices, one thing I will do is I will start with my shoes. I will say, well, which shoes do I want to wear to this event? Because if it's somewhere I'm going to be standing up for a long time, or if I need to be really comfortable, or I want to be really dressy, or I want my legs to look good, or whatever, I will start with the shoes, and I will determine, okay, well, I want to wear one of these two shoes, or I want to wear these heels, or I want to wear these sneakers, and then I'll build my outfit from there. Like for instance, I have a holiday party to go to in New York City. I know that it's going to be freezing cold. I'm not going to be wanting to wear sandals, I don't think. I don't know, I haven't decided yet, maybe I do. I'm not sure. But anyway, I'm most likely gonna wear boots. I wanna wear one of these two boots that are dressier, and then find a dress or an outfit from there. That eliminates a lot of my dresses, because most of my dresses go with sandals because I live in Florida. But it can make my life so much easier. If I'm traveling in an airplane, or I'm gonna be in an airport, gotta change planes, I know that I want my shoes to be comfortable, and so maybe I'll start with my Adidas Sambas and build an outfit from there. It can just make your life so much easier when you have started with your shoes, because you will immediately eliminate a lot of your clothes. Now you might notice with a lot of these habits that they are centered around helping me feel less overwhelmed, and I get overwhelmed, I don't know if easily or often or what the word is, but I get overwhelmed on a day-to-day basis, and I'm constantly trying to find ways to help myself feel less overwhelmed. Any way that I can narrow down my choices or decisions is a win for me. So this next weird habit has to do with cleaning, and there's times where my house is a total disaster. It's a mess, it's dirty, there's a million things I need to do, and I also need to get work done, and I can kind of get in this paralyzed state. Like I don't know where to start, and I just feel like I need to clean the whole house, but I don't have time to clean the whole house. So what I started doing is I will start with my toilet. I will clean my toilet first. I did learn about this from someone who was talking about these things that Japanese billionaires would do, is that they cleaned their toilet every single day. And so what it would do is if they cleaned their toilet every single day, they were able to start noticing details a lot better, and it just helped them in their day-to-day life. I tried that for a little while, but I couldn't marry that habit. For some reason, I'm just not led to clean my toilet every single day, but cleaning it as the very first step, if my house is a mess and I'm like, I don't know where to start. I can't clean this all right now, but I need to clean something. I start with my toilet. And then I end up either cleaning up my room, or maybe I go in the kitchen and I clean that. But for some reason, it just gives me a place to start. And then from there, I don't necessarily clean the whole house, but I will clean enough to make myself feel like I've at least cleaned up some of the mess. Now, piggybacking on that last habit, another habit that I have incorporated into my life that helps me so much, and again, I get overwhelmed. There's just so many things to do. I don't know where to start a lot of the times. And a lot of times there's things I don't want to do, but I know I need to do them. So one thing that has made me a lot more productive is that I will set a timer. There'll be a project that I don't want to do, or maybe it is cleaning my house, or maybe it's doing laundry, or maybe it's, something that I just really don't want to do. And there's other things that have more value, I feel like, that I need to be doing. But I will set a timer for like 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, sometimes it's 30 minutes, sometimes it's literally 5 minutes. And I'll say, for these next whatever minutes, I'm gonna work on this. Technical things drive me crazy. I don't wanna do them. I'm very likely to be like, ugh, I'll just do it later. So that's one of those things I will put a timer on and say, okay, for 10 minutes, I'm gonna find some YouTube videos and figure out this technical thing. And after 10 minutes is up, at least I put some energy towards fixing this problem. A lot of times what happens is the problem that I've been procrastinating about and I've been putting off for a long time, I'm able to finish it in that teeny tiny little bit of time that I gave myself. Like, I'll be able to solve the problem in less than 10 minutes. And then sometimes if I'm not able to solve the problem in 10 minutes or 5 minutes or whatever it is, a lot of the times I can actually see the light at the end of the tunnel after I've done it for that amount of time. And I'm like, okay, well, really, I kind of know what I'm doing now. All I need to do is just figure out these 1 or 2 more things, and then I've solved the problem. This doesn't work for everybody. If you have a very organized brain and you know how to, I don't know, make yourself do things, then this would not work for you. But for me, it works really well. A lot of you guys have commented about asking about my workout, or do I work out, or that kind of thing. And I do, but this next habit is what has helped me keep working out even though I don't like it. I don't want to go to the gym. And it's not that I don't enjoy working out, but I just have so many other things I need to be doing that it's hard for me not to think, oh, I need to be doing XYZ instead of over here doing squats. Plus, I guess essentially I don't really want to go to the gym and lift weights. Now, I've shared with you guys on some video that I broke my arm last summer, and come to find out I have osteopenia, which is like basically right before you get osteoporosis. So my osteoporosis doctor gave me some vitamin D, and he said, you need to start lifting weights. Like, yoga's great, running is great, but you need to start lifting some heavy weights. So what I do is I force myself to go and do 4 exercises, either on my lower half or my upper half, and then I'm just like, if I can get those 4 done, then I'll call it a day. But even that, it gets hard for me to make myself go even more than like once or twice a week. So I've hacked this system. And here's what I do now, is I find a book that is a very stimulating book to listen to on Audible, and I only allow myself to listen to it if I'm going to the gym or I'm doing some other task that I really don't want to do. If you've ever read that book, Atomic Habits, I'll link it below, but it is a great book on hacking your life and making yourself do things that you don't want to do, but you know that you need to do. And one of them is habit stacking. I think this is what it's called, habit stacking. So you combine something you love doing with something you really don't want to do, and it makes it a little more enjoyable. Now, you need to make sure this book is stimulating. If you're listening to a self-help book or whatever book, and it's just it's nice and fun, enjoyable to listen to, but does it make you really want to go, and you're not like, gosh, I really want to know what's going to happen, then you're not reading the right book. You need to find one that, it could be a romance novel, it could be, I like thrillers. The one that I just finished was All Good People Here. That one really worked. It took me a few chapters to get into, but once I was into it, I ran to the gym, did my workout, did abs. I wanted to hear what was gonna happen. And I think that week that I was listening to that one, I went to the gym and I ran to the gym and then did extra long workout 4 days out of that week. And then I actually kind of a little bit too long. I really didn't need to be spending that much time in the gym. But what I'm saying is it worked. If you're like me, sometimes it's hard for me to get into Audible books. I just can't bring myself to fully focus on them. But if you Google books that are very interesting on Audible or look on TikTok, there's a lot of recommendations you can find. Maybe you need something super scandalous, no shame, no one's gonna know. Get whatever kind of book you need to make yourself really want to go to the gym. Another habit that is a little weird, but it's gonna not be weird sooner or later, but maybe it's a little weird right now, is I use AI specifically use ChatGPT to find recipes. I did a video a little while back where I used ChatGPT to dress me and give me an outfit, and that was fun. What I really love ChatGPT for is to find recipes. So think of this as, let's say you wanted to find a recipe for chicken noodle soup, and you go on Google and you Google chicken noodle soup recipes, and then you're looking through all these recipes, and then one of them is spicy, another one is mild, and you have to go through all of these recipes to find the one that looks good. Well, ChatGPT, you go on and say, I want a recipe of chicken noodle soup that has a little bit of spice, a lot of flavor, uses gluten-free noodles, and there's no carrots involved or whatever. And it will give you a recipe. And then let's say it gives you a recipe and it gives you an ingredient that you don't have or you don't want to use. You say, well, I don't have that, so what can I use instead? And it will give you that answer. It's just so easy and efficient. Another way I've used it is if I've had like tomato sauce left over and I don't really know how I'm going to use it, but I don't want to waste it. I've said, what's a good recipe to use with leftover tomato sauce? And then if it gives me something that I don't like, I'll say, I don't like that one. What's something else? Maybe that involves ground beef or something like that. I'm telling you, don't knock it till you tried it. So probably the weirdest habit that I have for this video, and maybe up till now you're like, none of these are that weird. I do them all the time. That's wonderful. That's great. I love it. I just feel like whenever I tell people these things, they're like, okay, Anna, go do your thing. Anyway, if you ever get just super anxious or you just get overwhelmed, as I've expressed, I get overwhelmed by a lot of things, and I'm often trying to figure out ways to make myself less overwhelmed. But if you have anxiety or you just have these days where you just feel like, I'm just, so many things going on, or you just can't get out of your head, or just, you're just not feeling that great, here's what I would like for you to try to do, is to set a timer. You don't have to set a timer, but I love timers and I love timed things. Set a timer for 5 minutes and turn on some music and dance for 5 minutes. Now, I'm not talking about this number. We're not trying to impress anybody. We're not at the club trying to be like cool or whatever. I want you to be by yourself. You can turn off all the lights if you need to. Go into a dark closet. Do whatever you need to do, because once you start doing this and really doing it, it feels super uncomfortable. Unless you go out every Saturday night and are like, doing this number at the club and everything, you're gonna feel really weird. It's gonna feel strange. And you've probably not danced like this in a really years, but there's something about like moving your body in just like, I don't know, all kinds of ways that releases something. It releases some kind of anxiety or some kind of pressure you've been putting on yourself, and it just kind of clears your head. I don't know how else to explain it, and it might have a different effect on you than it does on me. But I know that if I'm feeling very antsy and just anxious and just, running is always, something that I've always turned to, but maybe I don't have 25 minutes to go on a run, or maybe I don't want to get sweaty. And, I love yoga, but it doesn't quite have the same effect. But there's something about just moving your body in ways that you never move it, that it just releases something. Release is the word that comes to mind that I feel like is how it feels to me. So you do feel weird when you're doing it. You feel super weird. I would not suggest doing it with your friend or your husband or whatever. Just do it by yourself. Get in a dark closet if you feel strange, because it does feel a little strange. And it's been life-changing to have this kind of in the back of my pocket. Now, if I'm feeling weird in a public spot in the airport, I don't just start going or anything. But I haven't solved that problem yet. I'll let you know when I do. Now, if you've never heard this before, you're gonna be very disappointed, but there's no pill, or there's not this one activity or this one day that you can do that's just gonna completely change your life. 99% of the time, it's gonna be these small habits that you do every single day, or often, or on a regular basis, that are really gonna shift the trajectory of your life or help you get a little bit better every single day. So I think having the right habits are very, very important for us to live our best lives. Okay, this is a little impromptu, not really set up for this today, but anyway. Okay, so there's this girl on Instagram, MD Fame. Anyway, she's super cute. Has this kind of a classics mixed with quirky, some trendy, but kind of a very unique style. So if I wanted to, so I have an event coming up on Thursday, and if I said, okay, well, what would she wear to this event? It's a comedy club, or not a comedy club, it's a comedian, and we have box seats. So I want to look a little nice, but like, you know, I don't need to be fancy or anything. So what would she wear? So I feel like she would wear something classic. I'm thinking my white button down. Maybe pair it with something a little more edgy. I'm thinking like my brown leather pants. And if I were to wear this combo, I'd probably do like brown boots and like my gold jewelry that I normally wear. But since, let's see, I'm trying to think of what she would wear. I feel like she would add something more quirky or just kind of interesting to this outfit. So I'm thinking this necklace that is my mom's that I borrowed from her for a little while to see if I like it. Maybe instead of the boots, weather permitting, I might wear like some fancy heels. But like I could also see her wearing literally like flat sandals or something, because I feel like she also has an element of effortless kind of comfort in a lot of her outfits. So anyway, it's just a fun way to get more use out of your clothes and just think of new ways to wear them and just experiment. So those were some weird habits I've incorporated into my life that have been truly life-changing and made me feel better and just made me show up better as myself. And I hope they were helpful. I hope you get at least one habit out of here that you feel like could really help you in your life. And let me know what you think. Let me know if you also have some weird habits that you'd like to share. Thank you to AG1 for sponsoring this video. I love them. If that is something that sounds like it could help you in your life, I would definitely check out their promotion they have. I'll put it in the description box below. Make sure you check out this video here for some habits that are much easier to swallow. And thank you for AG1 for sponsoring this video. I will leave everything you need to know in the description box, and I will see you next time.